Hey everyone, it's Cathy Alessandro, your Yes I Can coach, and welcome to this week's Coffee Talk with Cathy. Now, as I've said before, grab your favorite beverage. So for to me today, it's water, but your coffee, or some of you watching over in the UK or whatever, it may be happy hour time. But grab your favorite beverage and come sit down with us for a few minutes because this is going to be 15 minutes of nuggets and information and things that are going to help you grow your business, transform your life, and just make changes that you want to see as you continue to grow and expand and come back out in the world and really create that Yes I Can life that you are desiring to have. So this week, I'm super excited to have Chellie Campbell with me. And Chellie and I go back, I'm not even, it's got to be, I'm thinking it's at least 15 years. I mean, there's a long time in there, and I'm not even actually sure where the first connection happened. It may have been eWomen, it may have been WRS, it may have been lots of different opportunities. But Chellie is an amazing woman, and I would just like to introduce her. And Chellie, thank you for joining us today. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm delighted. This is so
absolutely fun. You bet. So why don't you tell our viewers a little bit? I'm going to let you do the honor. Tell a little bit about you and what you do.
Okay, I'll do my 30-second round robin from networking, right?
Yep.
You're gonna be rich tomorrow if you take my class today. I'm Chellie Campbell, and I treat money disorders, spending bulimia, and income anorexia. I teach an 8-week financial stress reduction workshop. I have a Facebook group called the Wealthy Spirit Group, modeled after my book, which is a page-a-day book. So I do a 10-minute video every day. And what else do? I do a bunch of stuff. You can go to Chellie.com to find me. So if you're living on peanut butter and jelly and would like to afford deli, call Chellie.
I love that. I've heard that but you know what? It works, right? I mean, seriously, when we first met, it was very similar, maybe even exactly the same, right? But people know that, and would sing along with you. Actually, I even remember that.
They do sometimes. And there's a lot of money songs, so I can change it up, Money makes the world go around. And if you want more money going around in your life, call me. So
there you go. There you go. Another one. There's another one. Well, here's the thing. So money is, it's an integral part of all of our lives. And how we work with it, how we view it, how we handle it, makes a big difference in our lives and how we can grow, or, well, even like you were talking, whether we're having deli or not, right?
Right.
So what would be a tip or two, especially in this economy and some of the fear that I've heard, people talking about not wanting to invest or in themselves, or, what's going to happen next, or, all those kind of things. What would be a tip or two that you would be giving your clients and listeners now?
Well, it's very interesting because, first of all, let me explain. I am not a financial planner. I don't do investments. I don't talk a lot about saving your money. It's a good idea, but find somebody else to do that with and how to do it. What I care about are people making money right now, because you can't save and invest if you're not making a profit. So I work on people being profitable. So the biggest tip I like to give people is just go for it. Just do what you love. Figure out what's a business you really are passionate about. What do you love to do? And then keep doing it, because retirement is not the goal. If retirement is the goal for you, you're in the wrong job. Have you ever heard of a movie star who says, gee, I can't wait to retire? Mm-hmm. Never. Because they love it. They can't wait. They hope they die on stage. Okay, so that was my training originally. I was a musical comedy actress. And then I always wanted to sing and dance for a living. And then I did it and I was bored. Who knew? Because, a long run when you're in high school and college, a long run is 3 weekends.
Right.
I did 5 shows a day, 5 days a week for 9 months out at Disneyland.
Wow.
I thought I would die. After 2 weeks and 50 shows, I'm like, done, but I have a 9-month contract, And that just floored me. I had no idea. Well, in between acting jobs, I took secretarial jobs to eat on. And they offered me full time. And I said, I'm an actress. I have to go on auditions. They said, okay, you can go. Well, dream job.
Mhm.
But then 5 months later, their office manager quit and they offered me that job. And I said, but that's finance and stuff. I don't know anything about that. They said, we'll teach you, you'll learn it. I went, okay. So here's a tip. When I'm about to take a risk, I consider the downside. If it's not death, I do it. Just go for it. Just take a risk. Try it out. Life is long. You'll have plenty of times to recover if it doesn't work out. But you
Mhm.
might discover that there's something you never dreamed of or thought of that turns out to be the thing for you. So finance was it. I never did another acting job after that.
Wow. It's interesting you say that. I was in the shower this morning and thinking about some different things and just this idea of the possibilities and why we say no to things, right? It's that fear and not leaning into it. And, what if we were to say yes to more things in our life? But it ends up being that, well, when I get X number of dollars in my bank, or when I, meet that other person, or when right. And then what happens is we get, long later in life and later in life and later in life. And then that's that woulda, coulda, shoulda,
Yeah. Well,
you
I
know?
call it the yeah, but syndrome, you know?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
uh-huh.
I had little buttons made up. I used to do the class at my house and I'd throw buttons at people. You got to wear the button. If people would leave class wearing 6 buttons, because it sounds like this. Yeah, but I can't because I'm too young. Yeah, but I can't because I tried that in 1992 and it didn't work. I
Mhm.
can't because I've got to remodel the bathroom first. I can't because the kids are young. I can't because the kids are teenagers. I can't because my kid just had a kid. I mean, it's
Right,
endless.
right, right.
So you just at some point have to take charge of yourself and say, what do I want? And
Mhm,
what if I tried it and it all worked out?
mhm, mhm.
What would life be like then?
Right,
It's
right.
like the law of attraction. The whole thing is, do affirmations. And I believe in that. I teach people to do financial prosperity affirmations because it sets your mind right. But
Mhm.
it's not enough. It's not like they're magic words, abracadabra. It's
Right.
like people love to give me money. You say that enough, and people love to give me money, and you start feeling it.
Mhm.
And then you look happy when you talk about money instead of looking like I charge $50. People are gonna argue with you if you do it like that.
Right,
But
right.
but the positive thinking isn't enough, and this is where people who do the law of attraction thing sometimes get stuck
Mhm.
because I just tell them, I go, well, how many affirmations do you think you'd have to do in front of a piano before you could play Mozart?
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yep.
So
Yeah, exactly.
there's a metaphysical reality and a physical reality. And
Mhm.
we have to master both of them. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
So I bring in both things, both sides of it, thinking positive and taking action.
Yeah. Yeah. The taking action has got to happen. You can't, I was in a previous recent recording. I'm like, you can't wish it. You can't just hope for it. You got to pray for it, but you got to work harder. I mean, it's not just going to, like you said, right? There's things that we have to take the action, decide, commit, and act. That is
Yes,
really my three things, right? We got to decide we want it. We got to decide what we're going to do. We got to commit to the action. We got to commit to where it is and where we're going, what we're doing. And then we got to act.
yeah,
This sitting back and wishing for it and hoping and wondering then why, right? There's that part that you and I have to do, or they, whoever, all of us listening, right? That we have to do to get to that next level, to get to those things that we want to do, to see that success, whether it's
yeah,
financial, relational, whatever it is, whatever.
everything. For
Yeah.
me, it was really stark when I started in networking groups, and I'd go and I'd do my little 30 seconds and I'd pass out my business cards and my brochures and I'd say hi and I'd get business cards from other people. And then I'd wait for people to call me. And nobody called me.
Right.
And so I thought maybe I'm doing it wrong. So I had all these business cards from other people. This is about a year. Okay.
Hmm.
And I said, well, I'm just going to call them and do a little survey and see if people are calling them. And so the first guy was an attorney. And I said, so what kind of law do you practice? I see you across the room all the time. I just thought I'd call you and let's talk. We had a wonderful conversation. And I said at the end, I said, so I'm doing a little survey. After you go to these meetings, do people call you? He said, nobody's called me except you, Chellie. Tell me about that workshop you do. And he signed up. That was my first call.
There you go. Yeah.
And I went, oh, then I started calling some other people. They all said the same thing. Nobody's calling me. Tell me about that workshop.
It's interesting you're saying this because a week from today, when this is airing, right, that I have my Yes I Can experience. And this particular time I've noticed I am making a lot more personal phone calls. It's not just, yes, I've got reels around the wazoo. I've got social media posts going out. I got emails going. I got all that. But it's the personal phone calls, right? It's checking in with people. It's connecting with people. It's asking.
Yes.
So I love that what you're pointing out here, that it's actually, you can't just go and collect the business card or hand out your business card or send that email or make that social media post and think it's all
not
gonna
personal. They know you sent the email to everybody, And so I used to say the money is in the phone. And I had said it's not cold calling, it's gold calling. Well, now, since I'm mostly on social media, I don't have people's phone numbers, but we have DMs. So I say the money is in the DMs. And you don't DM people, you don't friend somebody. This happens all the time. They friend you, and then they send you a pitch. I'm not ready to buy it from you. I don't even know you. You could be a scammer for all I know.
Right.
So first, you have to do what we did in WRS or any other networking group and say, hi, let's talk. I'd love to get better acquainted. I want to know how I can refer business to you. Now, this has to be an honest statement, because if you're just blowing smoke, people can tell. They can read it if you're inauthentic. But if you really care, and that's how real networking works, is you're creating a list of people that you can be their advanced marketing person. And say, oh, you have dry hair? Go to Gail Ragnetta. I just got Gail's Monet shampoo and conditioner. It's lovely. So I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, well, so let me ask you this. Where do you find your inspiration? So you inspire others and you do the daily and your book and everything, but where do you personally find inspiration?
Honey, I'm signing up for classes all the day long. When January 2020 came, I knew I had to get my class on Zoom. I had been doing it as a teleclass. So I learned Zoom and got it up on Zoom in January. February, I signed up with Molly Mahoney, who teaches show up with video classes and a number of other classes now too. But I signed up for that one because if I'm going to be online on screen, I need to know how to do Facebook Live video. And technology is not my strong suit, but I forced myself. And, I paid the money and I show up for class. Here's a tip. If you teach workshops, take workshops, because everybody in there is somebody who pays money to take workshops. It wasn't 3 weeks later, I made $3,500.
Wow.
From somebody in the class signing up for my class. See?
Right.
So that's how it works. So my inspiration, Molly Mahoney, is fabulous. Mike Dooley, Notes from the Universe, TED.com. I belong to his Infinite Possibilities group, so I'm totally connected with that all the time. I read all the time, and I'm teaching all the time. And when I'm teaching, things come out of my mouth that I didn't know I knew. I'm sure that happens to you. You say something, and somebody writes it down and says, oh, that's wonderful. And I go, thank God you wrote that down. I didn't even know I said that. Handling half the time.
I love it. Well, Chellie, I'm sure there's some people watching who would say, okay, I have need to connect with this woman. Where would they go to find out more about you and your books? Because you do have a couple of books and your workshop. Where would they go for that?
Okay. Chellie.com, my first name right there, .com. And everything is listed there, but there are specials and things, so you can always email me, which is Chellie@Chellie.com. Or you can go to my social media. I'm at Chellie Campbell on Instagram. I'm Chellie Campbell on LinkedIn. And I'm Chellie Campbell on Facebook. I keep it simple. I can have all these handles, but then you try and remember them, right?
Right, right. Yes, you are your own brand, Chellie, and you stand out in that. And so let's just own it, right?
Here we
Let's
are. I've worked hard to create me as a brand.
yes, yes, and you're a success at it. So let me ask you this final question.
Yeah.
What makes you a yes, I can woman?
Because when I was a kid, I didn't want to be in a box. And I said to myself, I want to be an actor because that's the only thing for a woman back in the 60s that I could see was out of the box. I mean, the news was all delivered by men and it was all about men. And
Yeah.
I didn't want to be in the box. So, yes, I can became my watchword forever. So, anytime I wanted to do something, I just said, yes, I can do that. I look at other people doing it and I go, yeah, I could do that too, but I'm going to do my version of it through my personality and the way I want. And
Yeah.
so, people are going to throw brickbats at you sometimes, but it's totally cool if they do. There's only two kinds of people, your people and not your people. Let them get out of your way.
Right. That
You
is
don't
true.
have to please everybody. That was learning.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, Chellie, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate your tips. I appreciate your humor and your just the way you run your business. And it's so great to reconnect with you. I'm sure there's many thinking the same thing, right? I think during the last few years, because of going more online and not seeing people as much and in person and networking, many of us, some of us have lost some of those connections. And so Chellie and I, reconnected, which I love. But connect with her, find her on any of the social medias, connect with her on her website. Her content is amazing. And if you are stuck in some of those money woes and fears and those things that are keeping you stuck, and they can, please go over to her website, Chellie.com, and
Right.
connect with her for sure. Awesome.
Thank you so
Chellie,
much,
thank
Cathy.
you so much.
It's so
Absolutely.
delicious to talk to you. And thank you for
Absolutely.
inviting me to share with your people.
Absolutely. You bet. All right. Until next time, we'll see you next week. Actually, next week, we're taking a break because it is the Yes, I Can experience. So if you're going to be live here in Los Angeles with, yes, I hope so. Otherwise, we'll be back the following week with another interview of a spectacular, dynamic Yes, I Can woman. All right. You have a great day.